Welcome to this session, which will be basically talking about GEO's efforts to build a more equal, diverse and inclusive GEO community. So hopefully this is working. So I'll start quickly with some housekeeping. So as you've seen, a number of us have changed our name. So if you're wondering why our family name are in a big capital letter, it's because there's a code for how you enter your name. But basically, if you want to, please indicate your organization as well as your full name in that type of format. It would be lovely if you could all mute your audio when you don't speak. And when it comes to asking questions during the breakout session or during the plenary, to use the raised hand function. If you can't find it, which still happened to many of us, please just request the floor in the chat. As this one was telling you, the meeting is recorded, so I hope that's okay for everyone. Please be aware that you can continue this discussion or link up with people during that sessions using social media, and particularly Twitter, either tagging the Secretariat or using hashtags such as EO for Inclusion and EO for Impact. Right. So 2 years ago, there was an increasing consensus among the program board that GEO really needed to make it clear that it values diversity, and thereby recognizing that the utilization of Earth observation to solve any kind of challenge is best served when people from all backgrounds are enabled to share ideas and experience. And that is one of the most important engine for creating innovative solution. So it wanted to make it clear that it commits to support to the development of a dynamic, diverse and inclusive Earth observation community, and where everyone is given the opportunity to participate and to benefit. And so a bunch of us came together to put together an equality, diversity, and inclusion statement. And that statement, which was agreed that it needed now wide consultation from the GEO community, has been articulated around 5 pillars, which outline a vision for equality, diversity, and inclusion in every aspect of GEO. And so the aim of this session today is really to get your feedback, your comment, your idea, your suggestion on those 5 pillars. Namely, do we have it right? Are they strong enough? Do they cover every aspect of the GEO community, or did we miss something? Or is there any unintended consequence that could be coming with the implementation of those 5 pillars? Now, you may ask what those 5 pillars are. So the first one, we tagged it under community leadership and advocacy. And basically, this is to make everyone aware in the GEO community of the benefits of having inclusive participation by people from all backgrounds and all sectors, and really try to get the leadership to acknowledge this value and to reach to bring more of this value to the GEO community. The second one is about creating a welcoming and supportive environment. So it's very good to attract and you don't retain diversity. So here, these are actions that are linked to striving to maximizing diversity and really push for it, whether it's in GEO governance structure, as well as meetings and events, and do that consistently at all times. The third pillar is around outreach and engagement. So here it's about who you want to talk to and making sure that you talk to everyone, that you make an effort to reach everyone and not expect people to come to you. So here, this is about really making sure that you go for a diverse set of stakeholders and that you talk to them and try to understand their needs through all GEO's activity, whether it's the GEO work program, the regional GEOs, or the GEO communication channel, as well as national and participating organization. The fourth one, the fourth pillar, is called empowerment through accessibility. So this pillar is about making sure that you not only try to attract diverse people, but you create an environment where what the output that you create, the effort that you made, are accessible to all. So that you not only look at who is interacting directly with you, but also in looking at your users and making sure that the product that you deliver or put together are accessible, standardized, and transparent. And then the last pillar is about oversight and accountability. So making sure that GEO deliver on all those different actions by having a strong subgroup that conduct regular audits and provide recommendation to GEO governance and administration when things are not going so well on this one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Natalie. So colleagues, you're going to have an opportunity to dig deep into these pillars, because what we're going to do now is to go to breakout rooms, where you're going to have a chance to look at these pillars and provide us feedback in which one of them, as Natalie has said. Do they make sense? Is there something that we're missing out of it? And how do they make you feel in general? I stole that somewhere. That's how these pillars make you feel. So here's how we're gonna do this. Initially, I actually planned to do automatically, but what I would like to beg your indulgence on is for us to make sure that each breakout room has equal number of participants in them. I would like to take away your right to choose which room you go out to. Rather, I would like to assign everyone into the room. So I'm gonna go mini more, right, until we get to the fifth one. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. When we get to the breakout rooms, the moderators will have support, and they would run the breakout room sessions. The breakout room sessions will also be recorded. The audio will be open as we are in this session, and the chat would also be open. So you could work around the housekeeping in terms of how you interact in that session with your moderator. There will also be a use of the Mentimeter tool to make sure that we capture all inputs and all thoughts. So that will also be, you'll be introduced to that and guided through that in how to use it if you had not interacted with that platform before. It's very quickly to use. One of the things I would ask is that if you can please have your cell phone with you, because we found that it's easier to use your cell phone because you on Zoom on the computer and this, but if you have a second computer, just put your browser open so that you can interact on the platform on that one, or else you can open your browser in the same computer that you've got. So I think that is about it. So in the next couple of seconds, you can chat with each other, and you'll get the opportunity to introduce yourselves and so forth in the next sessions. I'm gonna open the breakout rooms, and I'm gonna start doing the assignments to those, and everyone you will see that you're going to start starting to disappear from the main room as you get to the breakout room. Okay. So Natalia, if you do not mind keeping everyone busy. Yes, please.
Yes. Well, as you're about to disappear, I hope that everyone will have a good experience during those breakout sessions. And do please take the time to share your thoughts, because we really would like to know whether we got that right or not. You're gonna have 5 fantastic moderators from quite a diversity of places, and hopefully they can steer you if there's anything that doesn't work or isn't clear. And meanwhile, Andiswa is doing a very good job because she has already assigned nearly half of you.
It's slowly disappearing.
Yes, talking about technology, this is something that you wish could be done not one by one, hand by hand.
True. The complication is the fact that I do not want Zoom to automatically assign the moderators and the support team.
Ah, yeah, that could create
that's where
a
the
challenge.
Yes, otherwise I would have just said to it, go automatically and just put people.
But thanks everyone for coming today, because I know 1 hour during at any point during a working day is quite a commitment. So thank you, especially to those that woke up very early or that are giving.
Pippi, can you confirm for me that you've got co-host rights?
I have co-host rights.
Okay, this is when the fun starts.
19, 20 to go.
Yes, it's gonna be quick from this point on. Move.
Nearly there, people. Hopefully.
I almost sent you away. Okay.
Nearly there.
Hi and bye, Anita. Okay. Why is Marcus still here? Alison, did you not like the room I sent you to?
Alison?
Alison should not be here.
She's gone.
Okay. Okay, that is not bad, Natalie. We've got about 5 to 6 people in each room.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have a little bit more. I was hoping
know.
for 5 people minimum.
But I mean, have you seen the advertisement? I mean, if you want to drive attendance, you need much, much more. Oh, Marianne.
And let's let her finish to.
That's it, I think.
Oh, yes. Marianne, we're going to send you to a breakout room. So just hold on and they're going to start as soon as you arrive.
Oh, and we have Miguel also.
Is Miguel fully on? Miguel, we're going to send you to a breakout room. Just hold on tight. And I'm going to broadcast a message that the sessions can start. Okay, at least we have 4 people in each room.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. It's going to be a very funny cloud. Word cloud. I wonder if they can open up the word cloud to.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. All of them trying to monitor, to do the Mentimeter while doing the stuff, while this, while that. Yeah, it's gonna be epic. So one of us always needs to stay here to assign people, isn't it?
Yes, yes. One of us always has to be around, because so the other day I was able to leave the main room. The main room stays open. Let me just close and let me see. It stays open.
Oh, here is someone again. Laura.
Okay, I need to close this window. Hi, Laura. We're gonna assign you to a breakout room just now. They're just about to start, so good timing.
Hey, it's okay.
Oops. Don't worry, it's gonna yank you out of here. So you might need to accept it when it asks you to join. You have to say yes. So what is 25 minutes?
25 minutes from now is 15.
So we bring them back at 15:10. That doesn't sound like it's enough. Yes, 15.
No, it's no, it's like it should be. I was meaning 3:15.
Yes.
That's 25 minutes from now. But if the problem is more, how many minutes do we need by the end of it? We need
20. Well, I don't even think we need the 5 minutes for the closing. We said 3 minutes each.
So 3 minute time 5, that's 15 minutes.
Yeah, so we allocated 20 so far in the program.
Yeah, so you could bring them at 3:10, which give you 20 minutes to do all the sharing plus some remarks.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and here is another participant.
You want to assign that one so that I know your co-host works.
Sure.
He's still connecting.
Which one were you at? Oh yeah, community. Yeah.
Yes.
So Amit Reza, we're gonna assign you to one of the breaking room to discuss one of the pillars, and they just started, so don't worry. So I'm doing this now. If you can just accept, hopefully it will get you there.
Let me check if they received the message.
Go. I think you're gonna have people coming in and out.
Yes.
Shall we assign Wembo?
Yes, Wembo, we're gonna assign you to a breakout room.
Hello, Wembo. Thank you for joining us. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm thinking, wow, only 3 participants and 2 are organizers. Is that possible? I'm just going around this tarot session and see if everything's all right.
Oh, we were just about to assign you to a breakout room.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Hey, take it away, Natalie.
I'll do it. Okay, I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Do I have the capability to choose my? Okay.
No.
You ladies.
Those rights are taken away.
Yes. The whole thing about assigning to people, I'd never realized it was so time demanding.
It is, and what I also found is that it doesn't allow you to select a group and assign.
Oh.
It's actually one by one. You know, because I thought I could just select like 4 and then assign, and the next 4 and assign, but
it's not bad though. So there's it's nearly 35 people minus the It's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but given the amount of advertisement, it's not bad.
And the subject.
Oh, the subject? No, the subject attracts people generally. So we do
Really?
a lot. Yeah, we do a lot where I work. And it goes in hundreds. So yeah.
Wow, no, people never really pitch here.
If you don't believe in it and then you don't pitch it a lot, then it doesn't happen. But if you build around that culture and you do it regularly and sustainably, then you build a community.
Oh, Jan.
You
Hi,
do.
Jan. Jan, are you checking up on us or are you joining the
Yeah,
session?
I'm checking different sessions, but is it already over here?
No.
No. So I'm gonna put you through to one of the breakout sessions.
Okay.
Natalie, you can do Mark. I'm gonna put you through to one of the breakout sessions and then you can see what's going on there.
Okay, thanks.
So hello, Mark. Thanks for joining us. I'm gonna move you to one of our breakout room to discuss one of our pillar around empowerment through accessibility. I hope that's okay. I'm sending you the link now. And hopefully you can just accept and move to that. So they just started.
I'm gonna go visit.
Okay, you go that. And when you come back, I'll visit too.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to one and see how Lungi is doing because I think she's very nervous. So let me join that.
Hello, Bulwella. I hope you can hear me. I'm gonna move you, if that's all right, to one of our breakout room where we are discussing the different pillars to the EDI statement for GEO. So I'm sending you now to community leadership and you should receive a link to the breakout room now. So hopefully you just need to accept and it will be moving you to the right thing. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome to our EDI session. I'm guessing you're back from one of Hello, Arnalie. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna move you to one of our breakout group so that you can discuss the pillars of our EDI statement. So I'm moving you to supportive environment. I hope that's okay. You should get a link right now. How did it go? You're on mute.
They're on question 2. They're looking okay. They're looking okay, and Alison is there to sort of like also speak. So there was some dialogue going on as well as people are filling in things. So yeah, so you can jump off to another one. And
I'm gonna visit the Virginia. That's one that worries me.
Hi, Aji.
Hello, Andishwa. How are you?
How are you?
I am well. The session hasn't started yet. I am confused with the time.
Sorry, sorry. It has started. So people are in the breakout rooms.
I see.
Yes. So it's okay because they just started. I think in one session they were still on second question or something like this. So I'm
Okay.
gonna put you through to one of them, and
Okay.
and you will still get the opportunity in like 10 minutes or so to get to see the whole thing, because I'll bring people back in like 10,
Great. Thank you
15.
so much. I appreciate it.
Say that again.
Yes, I think that works well. I mean, if you want to add, if you can add me to a group, that's fine. If not, I can just wait for when everybody.
No. I'll add you into the group. I'll add you into your group just now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Hamidreza, did you get kicked out? Can you hear me? Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Hi, Linda. The session is on breakout groups. So I'm going to assign you to one of the groups. You can just join in the discussion. It's nice because it's general, so you'll see what question is being discussed. And so I'll assign you to one of the groups, and we will come back to plenary in a couple of minutes. Is that so? If you can just accept the signing. Okay. Okay. Do you remember which room you were in? Okay, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. So we'll assign you to one, and the discussions are good because you can just catch on the question they're talking about. You know, it's diversity and inclusion. So I'll put you through just now. You should have a pop-up on your screen if you can just accept. Oh, yeah, perfect.
So they are on question 3. Some are more lively than others. They just started on question 3, so probably aim for 11, the 1 or 2 minutes more, maybe 3:12 or something like this. Oh, someone else. I'm gonna go and visit more, okay?
Okay, you go and visit, I'll assign. Nasrat, I'm gonna quickly assign you to a breakout room just for the next few minutes of discussion, and then I'll pull you back with everyone else to plenary, okay? So there should be a pop-up on your screen to accept the breakout room. Just accept that, and I'll see you back in like 5-10 minutes. Ramesh. Signing. Hi, Ramesh. No, you're not joining a two-man show. The team is on a breakout session. So I'm gonna quickly assign you to a team, and you can join the discussion. And in a couple of minutes, I'll bring you back with everyone. But I think you might get a little bit of the discussion still. So if you can just accept the assignment.
Yeah.
So you know, I had not Natalie, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I was looking. Kenneth has finished already.
Are they just discussing now, or he wants to?
Yeah, he's trying to. Oh, another one.
Dan, how are you, sir?
Greetings from Pretoria.
Wonderful. So Ken, that's empowerment. So I shouldn't send anyone there. Community leadership. There you go. Dan, I'm going to assign you, and you might get some discussion still, but we're going to be pulling people back in a few minutes, right? But you might still get some part of the discussions from the breakout groups. So just accept the assignment, and you will be there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's 2:09. So are we bringing them? It's 2:10 now. Should we bring them now, or should we give them 1 minute? What do you think?
Let's just give them 1 minute, and then they're gonna be given another minute to.
Yeah.
So I had not anticipated in my mind this part of assigning people, like the latecomers. I forgot that part.
the thing is that at least it seems to be okay to they don't seem to miss because the question changed and the moderator are doing a good job. They are engaging people extra, at least some of them. So I think it should be all right.
Good. Okay, so 15:10 at 15:11 we'll pull them out. Okay, that was Ahmed. It's not bad actually.
No,
I think we've hit 40.
Yeah, we did it 40. Yeah, because there was but there's a lot of people from the secretariat and stuff.
No, there's only 2 people from the secretariat.
I mean, all of them. I think I've seen 3. There's Patricia.
Oh yes.
And I've seen Wembo. So. Okay.
Okay, I think all have
the 1 minute.
Yeah, I think I'm now going to close the rooms.
You're okay to deal with the end part. I'm there, but you're okay to yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call on them in the order to just give a quick overview, 3 minutes overview. Hopefully we don't run late. And
if you have extra time, ask if anyone wants to say something in the plenary.
That's what I'm actually hoping for, that we can have a little bit of time to wrap up, not us giving the closing remarks, but the session giving the closing remarks.
Yeah.
So let me close. Okay, give them 1 extra minute. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, countdown. Oh, let me remind. Oh man, my broadcast has been, I meant to type the message to remind them to capture the chats. But I don't think there was too much movement on the chats because there were few enough people so they could just come online. Ooh.
That was a very sudden move back on Dishwa. We were not ready for it yet.
We got chucked off.
We got like
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Don't worry. Even if I had warned, it always happens. So, someone is always cut in the middle of a sentence or in the middle of a thought, and you think the 60 seconds is long for you to conclude, but no, it's not. So
I didn't even see the notes of the 60 seconds, I tell you, but okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Doesn't matter. We're all here again, and yeah, I'm sure the people in my group will be quite comfortable putting their thoughts in the chat. Should there be something left over for now? So
perfect. So for this, what we would like is feedback and sharing in terms of how each group went about this exercise and the experiences and insights that were shared. So I'll look at the moderators and to take us through it. And if there are slides, the support can put those up. So let's start with oversight and accountability. Just a few minutes. Lungi and Sive, tell us how your session went.
We got kicked out, so our session was small, but let's see how far we went. Let's wait for the presentation. We've got a couple of comments.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Whilst you're waiting, your count, your time is going. Eh?
Start now. Where's the slide? Please give us a few minutes.
I will share shortly. Just a few seconds.
You've got 2.5 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds now. And counting. And
don't start the clock.
Counting.
So our breakaway, we dealt with oversight and accountability, and the responses we got for the first questions, the people described this pillar as community, ensure progress, transparency and openness, sustainability, and transparency, which the biggest thing that comes through is we need to be transparent. And the other issue that came through is if there's trust, and then how do we bring the trust around amongst the people? So I think that's a question that we need to take away and see. For us to achieve this oversight and accountability, there must be trust amongst ourselves. Then how do we do that? If we move to the second question, our second question answer, we got a couple of statements that yes, we need to have check and balances, but the most thing that came up is that we need to monitor and evaluate the progress, because if we don't measure it, we won't know if there is anything that is happening around this pillar. So it's very important that we must put some check and balances in our processes. The trust issue is also coming up, and another thing was that came up was that diversity and inclusion makes people feel comfortable. So if you feel that you're involved in processes, it makes even the implementation of things easier. So inclusion becomes a critical issue. We move to our third question, which is other actions that we can do. What I like that came out was an opportunity for the members to register and tell us really how do they perceive this inclusion. Do they feel that there's something that is being done around it, not just the talk, and how the subgroup wants to take this thing out to the community. How do then the people feel about it? The group has put up the statement and the pillars, so we want to hear from them. If we can have a registration platform when people can give us feedback on that. And another thing that said the solution can be as diverse as the challenges are diverse. So it becomes hard. It becomes, some people don't take it serious, the diversity or inclusion, or they don't want to deal with it. So that becomes a challenge on its own, because not everybody feels the same way about inclusion and diversity. So how do we address those issues? You could be wanting to take this forward, but the people that don't feel it's that important or they don't want to address it, there are those gray areas or challenges that we must look into. And we didn't get the responses for the fourth question. Oh, we have two. I missed that. That's when we were kicked off. Okay, the last responses for the last question where ideas and solutions are missed. Individuals sees this as a lip service, which touches back to our question, something that's come. It shouldn't be a lip service, it's something that we are putting out there as a nice statement. How do we then make sure that there is diversity, there is inclusion in all this participation and engagement? Yeah, that's our responses for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lungi, and to everyone who was on oversight and accountability. I find it quite interesting to have transparency and trust when we're talking about oversight and accountability, because we actually do need to build that trust. So that's a very interesting insight from the group. Thank you so much. Virginia, what your team was looking at community leadership and advocacy?
Yes, And we had about 8 folks there, and Mighty did a good job of keeping us on track and is going to share some of our results. I reviewed a little bit about some of the actions that that we are planning under this pillar of community leadership and advocacy, and the key words that a few folks put on the screen here. Inclusiveness, and this also came up in the chat. The importance of inclusivity, the one word that comes to mind for these folks when thinking of GEO's community leadership and advocacy and our EDI goals: inclusiveness and diversity, and the culture of the workplace and the culture of the organization. Okay, the next slide. How would you describe the action envisaged, and is it appropriate and implementable? Some good feedback here in general on this question, very positive, that this action itself and this pillar signals that GEO welcomes diverse voices, which is a first step. However, and it came up again later, it may not address the barriers, and just having a plan, you know, without that tracking of progress and not being just lip service, you know, if we're not addressing the root barriers to inclusivity, you know, we may not be implementable in a positive way. But all said that they were appropriate. The plans, all 3 of these say they're appropriate and implementable. But again, in that last column over there, that last comment may differ in countries and how they're implemented. And due to inherent economic and infrastructure differences within countries, should be tracking. And that comes back to the first question, the first pillar, you know, tracking progress, transparency, and trust. And there should be tracking of the implementation of each action. And to those that are new to this, that is part of the plan, is to actually gauge progress over the coming 3 years on each of the pillars. Okay, and the next question, please. What other concrete actions would you like to consider, and what is missing in this particular pillar? And again, it came up about barriers. So maybe we need to focus a little bit more on barriers to the nominations for awards, for example, the mentors, providing a training session. And that's something that hasn't come up in our discussions, and it's a great idea, a training session for mentors. And the second question there, maybe a spotlight on community leaders who are making a difference. And that's something that we talked about, and we actually had a YouTube conversation with Andiswa and Natalie and some others on the topic of diversity in GEO. And then again, the topic of inclusivity and diversity kind of overriding the thoughts and that the feelings that have come back from the participants in our session. And I don't think we had, well, maybe we got 1 or 2 on the last, we ran out of time. All right. Here's one response. In your experience, what could be the unintended consequences? And the answer here from one of our members, placing responsibility of becoming inclusive on those countries, individuals, and organizations that have the barriers to entry, you know, quote, lean in to solve problems, end quote. All right, so that's our report from our breakaway session. Back to you, Andiswa.
Thank you very much, community leadership and advocacy. Again, some interesting insights there. We are very happy that this pillar actually brings out the inclusive culture because this is one of the things that GEO prides itself on, the convening power of GEO. We're saying that's one thing we deliver on more than anything. So, and the intention with this pillar was actually to push that community spirit. So that's welcome. I like some of the ideas that have come out in terms of how to implement and address the barriers. Fantastic. So thank you very much. And pillar 3, creating a welcoming and supportive environment. Marianne and Mukosi, take us through your findings and try to be quick.
I'm always being blamed for being too quick a talker, so I should be fine. I'm waiting for Mukosi to share the slides. But I think it should be up any minute. In any case, we have actually, coming from a different pillars, quite the same reactions as we have seen in the previous 2. So yeah, so if we can go to maybe directly the first question, Mukosi, that would be great. Yeah, so describe in a word or 2 what the pillar means to you. On creating a welcoming and supportive environment, one of the things that came up was to have new voices coming in. How do we create an environment where we get people who are not either in or heard or speaking, could be all of that. How can we get them in? And also, how do we invite them specifically? So it's on the one hand, speaking about people who are maybe there, but don't feel for whatever reason comfortable to speak or don't feel that it's their place. And on the other hand, how to make sure we invite more people in, maybe from a different background, or maybe from a lesser, how do you say that? A lesser representative background. This is what I wanted to say. So this is what came out of this part, and it's actually quite similar to, I think, what Virginia just said for the previous one. So it's the same things. And mentorship and a buddy system was also mentioned, so that if you are in, how to make sure you're comfortable enough. So that is on the first one. Then if we go to the second one. So it's again a bit repeating what the other 2 said, but yes, the actions are appropriate and implementable, but please make sure we have a sort of a direction roadmap, if you want, set up to actually make sure that it's feasible as well. And let me see what I've had written down on that. Oh yeah, that there should be some concrete actions, because for now it's more like an overview. How do we get concrete actions then in there, and how do we keep track of them? So that was the main thing coming out of the second question. Then if we go to the third one. So this was actually quite sort of reassuring, because looking at what is missing, there was not so much missing apparently. The only concrete thing which was mentioned here was a variety of ways for people to engage. One of the things that was named here was, for instance, people can have different roles. They can be speakers, writers, reviewers, observers, and all of them should find their place, or maybe assume one role, and then when they feel comfortable enough, taking on another role. But there should be a sort of an environment creating where all of this is possible. And for the rest, this is, I think, still within pillar 3. With the question if we would need a 6th pillar, we had no specific response, meaning that I think with the 5 pillars there, we're well covered. And then I'm very curious to see, Mukosi, if there's something on the 4th one, because like the other 2, this is where we were cut. But okay, yeah, great. So we have something coming up. Welcoming environment for me is more of personal. Welcoming person might burn out, so this could be a group thing. Okay, so it's indeed how do you ensure that people are sort of taken along in the system that is there by people who are familiar with the system already. And I think that's it. I hope that was within the 3 minutes, Andisha.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marianne. For someone who came back saying, "Oh, but we were cut off." You guys had actually done a great job in taking this task. So wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love the concept of new voices.
Yeah. No, we had a very active group. So good. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, and I must say, even in this session, this is what makes me, this session, there are names that I've never seen in GEO before. and that is what we're aiming for in there. So that's great. Outreach and engagement, Phoebe and Sinesipho.
Thank you. We also had a very vibrant group. Unfortunately, cut off as well. I think the cut when somebody was talking, but nonetheless, we got to get all the points.
Sinesipho, do you have the report to share? Perfect.
Yeah. So for our group, just go to the, yes. So basically for us, what this means is that accessibility of data should be very key. There needs to be very wide advocacy level, sustainability, as well as enhancement. But you see, it's very loud that we need to make everything accessible. So in terms of what actions are there and whether we think they're appropriate and implementable. So what we had is that we need to be able to sponsor local chapters, and local people here need to be at the forefront. So the institutions, local institutions, how do we ensure that these are part of the groups that lead these particular initiatives? We need to ensure that the actions are implementable and focus on local knowledge. So here the integration of local knowledge as part of outreach and engagement was very key. And one of the other powerful ones that we got is there really needs to be a lot of emphasis on publishing what is positive. So what are the good success stories from one region to another that speak to the value of why we need to integrate EDI being very, very important. Next. In terms of if there was any missing pillar, so in our group, we felt that the pillars we have are sufficient in that the 5 of them in one way or another are addressing the needs that we need. And we need to ensure that these 5 first work out very well before we can introduce other pillars. However, there were proposed actions that can support outreach and engagement that we need to look out of. First is that a capacity building needs to be part of outreach and engagement. So how do we ensure that the institutions are also providing capacity building and outreach? So whether this is within the tech side of things or on the value of adding EDI as part of what countries are looking out for is key. We also need to create an enabling environment and also ensure that institutions have the right tools to be able to do this. Further, we need to be seen as enforcers as opposed to, we need to be seen as influencers as opposed to enforcers. So there's that tendency of when you pursue an EDI action, then you're being seen like you're trying to police people around, and that is something that needs to be very clear that is not a part of our objectives. Next. So in the last question, a part of the unintended consequence is this need where we are seeing as enforcers. So we are not trying to, impose rules on people, but rather ensure that they understand the value of EDI. And then there was also the component of if we don't have very good mechanism to monitor and evaluate how we're doing as EDI, then what we are doing will lack consistency, and also it may end up being a failure. So having those proper mechanisms for ME and L are very important in this last part. Thank you.
Outreach and engagement team, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I quite appreciate the fact that throughout all the pillars, there is a very internalized way that everyone took each of the pillar. It's like you spoke directly to it. So very strong feedback in there. And actually, Marianne and Phoebe, it's part of having the regional GEOs in this conversation is exactly around knowing that for this to work, we have to take it back to the local communities, the organizations, and the regional GEOs become very powerful mechanism for us to partner with in this journey. So thank you very much for that. I see that empowerment through accessibility is ready to go. Okay, so Kenneth and Asanda, please take us through your session.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. In our group, we had 6 persons, and actually instead of the 4 questions, we added a 5th one, which we'll actually discuss because we were very much hardworking. So as a summary on the first pillar is more free data. Where is this data, participation, and where are the GEOs, and where is everybody? This was pretty much what was shared. Then in the second slide, we have a summary on my brother Sander. So here there was more of a capacity building for these platforms, and there was also a query on the big data, how it actually can be addressed. And also there was the issue of language barrier. We had a participant from Ecuador, and she joined in and she couldn't participate. So meaning a platform which maybe can do translation on the fly as we discuss the way we were used to our conferences in the UN. And also the question of SDI came in. This can really help us in moving the many nations together. Then in the third question, we looked at some various actions, concrete actions. One of them was mentorship, which has been discussed also in the other platforms. There was also the issue of language barrier. Also, the capacity building is coming out very strongly. And the one in red is citizen science, which is very, very important that any programs we have, we can use citizen science to do some measurements and also talk to the people on the ground, the most remote locations that you've ever come across. Then in the final one, 4th point on the 4th slide is like, we looked at the various gaps, people working in silos, which they really do very well. Also looked about exclusion by inclusion, and there was one mentioned about people making business out of some of these products and data, which can be an issue of corruption, which was also for me new. Then the 5th question was from this report, how will you be able to influence the working of GEO and the other GEOs to work together in terms of empowerment, and how the feedback from everybody can actually be important into the other working groups. This was a very hard working group. Thank you so much, my colleagues.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the empowerment through accessibility, I think you touched some of the key issues, because if accessibility, we cannot talk about it if we do not do capacity development. And those who attended the plenary session would have had the outgoing Geo-Secretariat Director in terms of the intentions that we need to come to these platforms with. It becomes very critical. So thank you very much for that. We are 8 minutes over schedule. I cannot even use the excuse that the session had started late, because plenary session started late, you know. But what I would like to do is to thank everyone for coming. We had we learned one thing, that we had too many questions, and so this session doesn't get to have a discussion, but we quite appreciate the feedback that you've given to us, and it's very rich, and the preparation that is going to go to the executive committee for GEO. So this is not just ending here. This is a consultation process that we're embarking on. We're hoping that we're going to have a blog in the GEO website. So don't make this your last engagement with us. So there's a group that came out with a register for broader feedback. Yes, we're going to take that on and make sure that we get further feedback from the community. So with that, I would have actually loved to hear some of the voices in the room, but time is not on our side. Except to say thank you very much to the moderators. Thank you to the support team. Thank you to our comms team, Alison, who I didn't see Bente today, but she's done our comms, and Alison, and to my co-pilot Natalie, and to all of you for gracing us with your presence and your insights and your inputs during those breakout sessions. And hopefully when we call on you for the next session, you will participate. Look out for us at plenary, the GEO week, if we don't hear from. So the blog is one in the GEO website, and but we will also be doing another session at the GEO plenary. GEO week. At least we're lobbying to get to do a session at the GEO plenary. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the GEO symposium.
Thank you, Andiswa.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, we did it.
Can stop the recording. Do you want me to stop it? I'll stop the recording.
Yes, please. I forgot. Yes, please. And there's when